This is my blue Onslaught deck. So, so we got Squirrel Girl, we got Korg, we got Quicksilver, we got Ebony Maw, we got Cable, we got Scarlet Witch, we got Morph, we got Mr. Fantastic, Storm, Kazar, Blue Marvel, and Onslaught. The reason I call it Blue Marvel is because the idea is you play Blue Marvel to power up all your cards and use Onslaught to double all that power up. So, but also technically you could call it a Kazar Blue Marvel, since you ideally want all three of these in play, right? Play this turn 4, play this turn 5, and play this on turn 6 essentially. Because the idea is to power up your squirrels, right? Your Korgs, your Quicksilvers, right? Whatever you have out there. Because we have a lot of 1-drops. And that's what Kazar is for. And then for everything else that isn't a 1-drop, that's where Blue Marvel comes in. So the idea is to just power up your board. So fill up your board, power it all up to a pretty high number, ideally higher than your opponent, and win 2 of 3 boards. But we have other cards in here to, our tech cards, to help us out with certain matchups, like Cable helps us take, a card from the bottom of our opponent's deck, so it'll give us extra power, extra ability in the deck that we don't have. Scarlet Witch helps us change a board, especially a board that's problematic, that might be, causing us to potentially lose. Morph lets us copy a card from our opponent's hand randomly, but a lot of times you get something really powerful. So again, it's almost like, it's a tech card, right? Staples. So these are essentially staples because they're really good. Mr. Fantastic lets me power up. I play him in the center zone so I can power up the left and right, and I like to combo him with Storm. I tend to play her left or right column. Field to try to lock those fields so that I can, obviously use it to win. So she's a win con in herself if I use it right, and then Mr. Fantastic helps power up that spot so I can, get the W there. Kazar, like I said, powers up on my 1-drops, and I have a good amount of them. So this will power up my 1-drops. This will power up everything, and then also just doubles all of that. So essentially, Blue Marvel and Kazar kind of serves pretty much the same purpose. So that's their points and job. And this is a new card that I'm trying out. Hopefully it works the way I want it to, which it could potentially just win me. So it acts like another win con. Win me a zone. Storm wins me another zone, and all I need to do is win 2 of 3. 2 out of the 3 zones to win. So that's the ideal strategy. Let's go to some gameplay. So as you can see, I started off playing Korg, so that automatically puts a card in their deck. A rock, essentially useless. I'm looking at that card, it's like, oh, that's a good 1-drop. That I could put that in my 1-cost deck. Now this was an interesting thing because I got my combo. I got my Blue Marvel combo, plus I got the Squirrel Girl. But the main thing is I got the Blue Marvel combo, plus I got Storm. So and Mr. Fantastic. So you see to the right, I play Storm. So right now all we're playing with is just the cards in our hands. We have no cards left in our deck because of the field card. In fact, you see how my opponent did Mr. Fantastic, so that's good for them. But then they lost their board over there, so they have less power than I do. I kick in the snap, so basically betting who will win, and whoever wins obviously gets a lot of points. So here we're on turn 4. I decide to take that move back if I'm right. Or do I just drop them? I guess I further, because Storm is about to lock the second, next turn. So I ended my turn, so I do that. he has nothing in his deck, so obviously this does nothing, just gives me an extra 2 boosts. Scroll kicks in, filling up the board, further increasing the flood, flood zone. So now it's locked because my opponent didn't play anything there. I just lost my center board. Right, sucks. But at least I made sure that I saved my Mr. Fantastic. So now I'm going to do the blue marble because there's no point in playing Mr. Fantastic. I take the play back because I was like, no, I want to move it to the far left. I don't care if they try to win the center. All I want to do is win left and right. And I'm going to put Onslaught on the left, obviously. So he plays more cards in the center. Don't know why he didn't try to win Murder World. Or at least try to put something there. That way it increases the chance. And of course, there's the blue Onslaught play. So blue Onslaught, of course, is powering up all my stuff. Blue Marble is powering up all my stuff. And then Onslaught. He plays something. I was expecting like a Hulk or something. Like, oh, just that. No biggie. And as you can see, I win. Pretty simple. Simple and straightforward. And that's all you're really trying to do. Just blue Onslaught, my opponent. What's ironic is later on you'll see a mirror match. So I'm not the only one playing this strategy in this, particular way. I haven't watched any like content of Marvel Snap, but I've heard there is some. Like my friend who was playing this before me, he watches some guy who makes content. So I haven't watched anybody else play. I just started, playing it myself and figuring it out. Obviously, I'm a card game player. I'm good at building decks. I'm just good at games. Or good at a lot of stuff, but mainly games, right? So I can figure it out. I don't need to watch somebody else. So here, I'm going to get this effect twice. So I'm going to throw 2 rocks into his deck. So kick rocks. You see he's using Scarlet Witch to change that zone. And that was a good zone too. I was going to abuse the shit out of it. Then I lose mine. I'm glad he lost his Onslaught. But that right there let me know, like, oh, I think he's doing the blue Onslaught strategy. As you can see, we have similar cards if you look at it. So here I play Ebony Maw, which is the new card that was added today to the deck before, make the deck profile and whatnot video. So try that out. Now, from what I see is, essentially has the effect of can't play cards in that zone anymore. And he's powerful. So it's like, if he works the way I think he does, or I want him to work, that's powerful. But if not, then it's like, okay, that's why he's a 7 cost. It's because he prevents me from playing cards there, but not my opponent. So there's a possibility my opponent's just not playing cards over there. So you see, I got Khazar, blue Onslaught. I got the 3-card combo, right? But it's turn 5, so I have to play the blue marble. That's the thing, is like, turn 5, blue marble, turn 6, Onslaught, right? I'm not gonna, there's no point in playing, even though I have a lot of 1-drops, there's no point in playing Khazar. I mean, technically there is. I should actually say that Khazar actually technically would be better because he would give me way more power. Because he gives me +2, while blue marble only gives me +1. And then Onslaught would double that. So technically right now, I would have had bigger numbers if I went with Khazar, actually. Keep forgetting that. Since there are 1-drops, Khazar and Onslaught was actually the better play. It happens. But I'm just so used to I like blue Onslaught. I like play blue, marble, and Onslaught since he powers up everything. But if you have a lot of 1-drops, obviously Khazar is the better choice, which is why both are in the deck, because it depends which one you need for which strategy. So this is the mirror match if I'm right. See, right there, the left, where it says ongoing FX here are doubled. This is the perfect field, especially on the left side, for this deck. And that's where you want to put your Khazar, your blue marble, and your Onslaught. You want to put all 3 of those bad boys in that specific slot. But you're going to see me misplay. it can happen. As you can see, I got the blue marble, right? I got blue marble. I mean, blue Onslaught. I got blue marble and Onslaught in my hand. And I even got Mr. Fantastic. So, Mr. Fantastic, you know, it's going to put in, you know, some power. There's Storm. So I play Storm in to get rid of the machine world and to try to lock it down. So, like I said, you want Storm to the right. There's Khazar, so I got Khazar. I'm gonna put Khazar there to further strengthen that Storm zone. So I have more than one strategy. It's just the main strategy is obviously blue marble, blue Onslaught, but I do have other lines of play. So it's always good to have other strategies. That's where the control tech cards come in. That's where the Khazar 1-star spam, if you want to call it that, comes in. But here we go. Khazar, Marvel, right? So there's the strategy. We got Khazar out there. Right, we already got the right zone solidified for victory for me. And then with blue marble, obviously we're powering up the Khazar and the Storm. So we're further increasing our chances of winning that zone. Our opponent, as you can see, yep, he's playing blue marble. So you see he has the squirrels, he has the blue marble, so it's like, oh, he's more likely has the Khazar. I go with Onslaught, now you're gonna see what's gonna happen. This is how you know it's a mirror match, right? Essentially. I mean, his deck uses some cards that I don't. There's my Onslaught, and there's his Onslaught, right? Essentially a mirror match right there. Boom, boom, boom. But I win. Because I got 17 in the middle. Victory! So, of course, I'm trying to give him some props and stuff like, yeah, because this was a mirror match. We were playing the same strategy. Slightly different cards, but same strategy. And that's the end of that.